I just spent $200 on manga just to prove YouTube comments wrong, and totally not for any other reason.
But didn't you just want to read manga?
And how about you shut the fuck? We've all seen those guys in the comment section of every anime clip ever who feel the impulsive need to comment how the manga was better. Unfortunately for me, I let my intrusive thoughts win, so I went to Amazon and bought the entirety of one manga. So I'm gonna give you my in-depth reaction to reading this manga to see if all those YouTube comments are right all along. To make things interesting, there are going to be points based off things I like and dislike about reading the manga. At the end of the video, we'll tally up all the points for each side, and if I like more things than I dislike, then I'll have to do a punishment from our punishment wheel. Why, you might ask? Because fuck me, I guess I need some form of punishment for falling this far into degeneracy. As for the manga I chose, I had good reason, and before you judge me too hard and comment how much of a loser I am for liking rom-coms, I just want you to know that the truth hurts and that you can kiss my ass. But in all seriousness, there is a good reason. Fly Me to the Moon fit perfectly into what I was looking for as an introduction to the hobby. It had an anime adaptation that I had seen that didn't have a conclusion. I had good reason for reading the manga, which was finding out who the hell this chick really is. Also, by pure coincidence, by the time I had read the books I already had, the anime had a new short season coming out based on a couple of the volumes. So, I already got to see it be adapted to an anime as a bonus. Finally, the manga had an ending. Spoiler, I was fucking lied to. This was obviously a tall order, but Fly Me to the Moon happened to fit it almost perfectly. But with that out of the way, let's start the game. I am somebody who cannot stand reading. I hate sitting in one place reading words on a page. So whenever I see this type of comment, I'm always skeptical of whether or not I'll enjoy reading the manga. But even though I read at the pace of a literal child, I found I was enjoying myself when reading. Who would have thought that a book with primarily pictures would not be a lot of reading? In my case, each volume would take me around 2 hours to read. So not a major time sink either. That's a point for you gotta read the manga, bro. I am one of those people that cannot stand reading something that does not have an end. I know in the beginning I said I wanted a manga that has an end. However, at least as far as I know, Google lied straight to my face harder than any free-to-play game. I can no longer find the Google search results saying it was ended, but here's the new one. Clearly, someone changed their mind. The Fly Me to the Moon manga seems to still be going on in Japan, and only 22 of the now 25 volumes are translated to English. Not to mention, not even all of them are out yet. This seems to be a common thing for manga from what I can tell, and I'm not saying it's necessarily a bad thing, it's just that I'm an impatient little bitch. Gonna have to be a point for dislike. Also, funny little side note I found while trying to find that Google result. Apparently the Fly Me to the Moon manga is on hiatus because, quote, because the writer was shocked by the latest chapter of Jujutsu Kaisen. That's pretty funny. Did I get my money's worth per book? This is a no-brainer. Yes, you absolutely do. I thought the small page count would mean less value, but this was just flat out wrong. Even more so if you already enjoy its anime adaptation. I realize this will be different for every manga in person, but for me, I definitely got my money's worth of entertainment. It took me like a week to read all the ones I had. Point for, it's worth the investment. What was it like to watch an anime of a manga you read? So, admittedly, I haven't watched the newest season of Fly Me to the Moon yet, mostly because Crunchyroll seems to be having, some issues as of late. But I did watch a lot of clips on YouTube, so I know a little bit about it, and let me tell you, this one is difficult. Did I enjoy watching the show? Yes, seeing the scenes adapted into an anime was great, especially this one. This shit right here was sick, but I did start to see what all those YouTube commenters were getting at. It was weird expecting something to happen, only for it not to. I can't really say it's a bad thing, but I also can't really say it's a good thing either, because this is something dependent on the adaptation. This one's gonna have to be a tie. This also doesn't mean I hated watching the show after reading. In fact, I liked it, and it was great to see it animated. Also, before we continue, I just wanted to say, if you like what you see, leave a comment about how much you like or dislike the video, or if there's anything nerdy you want me to try. That's all. Back to the video. Alright, I'm gonna level with you. Book release time. Being someone who only knows how to speak English, I need the manga I buy to be translated, which means it feels like I'm waiting for the next Elder Scrolls game to come out every time I need to wait for a new volume. It feels like forever for another book to come out, even though it's only a couple months, which in reality is pretty quick. And I know that it takes a long time to do these drawings and get a book together, translate it, and all this other stuff. However, what is worrying is that there is still no sign of the 2 newest volumes being released in English anytime soon. So gonna have to be a point for dislike. Speaking of no sign of new volumes, the uncertainty of not knowing if or when a new one is going to be released is excruciating and definitely a point for dislike. Fortunately and unfortunately, when a new one is set to release, they usually announce them in mass, so the odds of me reading the 2 newest volumes anytime soon are slim. As a Full Metal Panic fan, I get nervous when the radio goes silent, still waiting for the end of that show. I guess I could read it since I bought these, but we already established I read at the pace of a dial-up computer from 1992, so probably not going to happen anytime soon. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we have a bonus round. Is the manga better? Were all those YouTube comments right all along? Well, yes, to a certain extent. I won't go as far as to say that they were wrong. In fact, they have a point. Reading the manga at times did feel like rewatching the show. However, most of the time, it feels completely new. You get to see so much more of the characters. Both supporting and main characters have more time to be present. There are also so many more side stories, pop culture references, and jokes that just don't make the cut. Some for good reason, some I wish I got to see adapted. But the point is that at least in my experience with the manga I read, you get value from both reading the manga and watching the anime. That's 2 points for you're not mentally prepared for what comes next. So, how would I rate my experience reading manga for the first time? Pretty good. It was fun, and I'm definitely interested in reading some more. Maybe I'll try reading a manga that doesn't have an adaptation for the next one I try. But we still have one more thing to do. Let's see the score. Alright, so for the score, there was 1 tie, 3 points for things I didn't like, and 4 things I did like. God damn it. Alright, let's spin the wheel. Alright, long story short is, this is like my 5th time trying to record this. I'm bad at making punishments. As you can see on the screen, they're boring, but that's why I need your help to give me some ideas, because obviously I can't be trusted to do it myself. Let's spin this wheel and get the shit over with. I'm so bad at talking. Oh my god, please don't be as bad as the last one. I got lucky in that regard, I guess. Fuck! Ugh! That's so much worse. Oh, that's so much worse. Alright. So this is the story of how I accidentally hit on the dude who was working at the local gas station. So to give you a little bit of background about myself before I tell this story is, 1, I'm extremely fucking awkward. Really awkward. I do not do well in social situations where I do not have an answer for. Now that I've given you that little piece of information, let's continue. I go into my local gas station because I saw on my phone on my rewards app that I have 2 free coupons for a drink. So I go in, I grab my drinks, I go to the cash register. Nothing abnormal. Where the shit show starts is when I am going to check out. On my rewards, it says my name, and my name happens to be the same name on a certain hot dog brand. We'll just call them Bob's Hot Dogs. I go to check out, and the guy at the cash register sees my name on my rewards and goes, "Oh, I like your hot dogs." And in my head, I'm thinking, the fuck did he just say to me? And then it clicked. Oh, he's talking about the hot dogs. And I guess he must have picked up on the fact that I was a little confused. So he's like, yeah, the hot dogs, like, you're the hot dogs, the Bob's Hot Dogs. I'm like, yeah, it's okay. And I'm just laughing it off. And, and I guess I laughed for a little too long or something. I don't know. And he just started questioning me. He goes, "Oh, what's wrong?" And I was like, "No, what? No, I'm confused now. I am totally confused." So now my brain's on overdrive trying to answer, like, what do I say? There's nothing wrong. I was just laughing to get out of the situation quicker. So I just say the first thing that came to my brain. I just said, and I quote, "Well, nobody's ever said that to me without first seeing a Bob's hot dog." And I don't know if it was the way I said it, but I meant it, as in nobody has said that without first physically seeing a edible hot dog. However, he did not take it that way. Because what followed next sent me into even more of a panic. What followed was that he did the little gasp with the hand thing, right? He's shocked. And then he started to give me the side eye and laugh a little bit. And in my head, I'm thinking, what did I say? And he goes, "Oh, you got me." And I go, got who? What? Got what? Who? And then it clicked. I just hit on this dude. And I don't know if it was the way I said it or it was the wording, but I did not mean to. I grabbed my shit and I walked out the door. I was terrified because I thought he at first took offense to it, because I was like, I didn't mean to do that. I don't know if it was the way I said it or the wording or he took it wrong. I don't know what happened, but I immediately called my buddy and I said, "I can no longer go to that gas station." And he was like, "Why? How come?" I told him straight up, I just accidentally hit on the guy who worked at cash register. And that is the story about how I accidentally hit on a dude. Yeah, so my storytelling skills need some work. I'll get there eventually. I originally planned on ending this video with some funny joke about how you should like and subscribe so I can drop out of college. You should still do that though. But what I really wanted to say was thank you if you made it this this far into the video. It took me about 6 months to make for various different reasons, and I wanted to show you this video right here. It popped up in my recommended one day when I was editing, and I thought it was a really good video, and I think you'll like it too. Other than that, I guess I'll see you in the next one.